back to the corporate conversation. Then Blue Star is the company on the radar. We've seen a pretty steady quarter come through. Q4 was steady for Blue Star, at least at the top line front. Small issues on the margin, which we'll discuss. But the question is, what's the demand picture looking like? We have with us Mr. Thiagarajan, MD at Blue Star, joining in. Mr. Thiagarajan, good morning, sir. Always good to have you on. And I remember, when we spoke, I think this was in early April. That time, because of these unseasonal rains that were coming in, the April demand was not that great for air conditioners. I wonder how May has May made up for it? Tell us, how has the year started off? What's your assessment so far?
Shubhi, good morning. It's a pleasure interacting with you. Yes, we had spoken in March. I had said that industry is looking forward to a 25% growth over last summer season. Industry indeed had prepared, and we had prepared for a 30% growth. April was bad with rains across many places, but most importantly, in March last week, as you may recollect, anticipating compressor shortage, the trade started stocking up more. So the inventory opening levels were very high in April. But the fact of the matter is there were rains across the country, and we managed to grow only by around 5% in April. May was bad. May, in fact, monsoon set in most part of the country. And therefore, this summer is a bad summer, like it was in 2023. This is going to be a tough period to navigate through and wait for the festival season. That's where we are.
All right. Hi, sir. Good morning. Nigel on this side. Good to see you again. So a rough start to the year. If you could help us out with a couple of numbers. For last year, I think the RSC volumes clocked around 1.53 million, and you did very well because your market share as well moved to around 14% or thereabouts. For this year, what kind of a volume number should we be looking at given this soft start? The good news, though, is commercial refrigerators that had a rough FY25. That started off FY26 on a positive note with a good bump up out there, and that contributes a good amount to the UCP business. What is the number and what kind of growth should we look at in this vertical? Please go ahead, sir.
Good morning, Nigel. You're absolutely right. It was a significant year that Blue Star crossing the magic figure of 1.5 million and industry volume crossing 15 million. And whenever the summer season had failed, the rest of the season does well. And I anticipate at least 10 to 15% growth on a full year basis. In other words, FY26, one should anticipate between 10 to 15% growth. So that 1.5 million, it has got a potential to grow to 16 million. In our case, it will be 1.6 million. I think that it should take place if I plot all the years in which summer season had been bad. In a manner of speaking, that we often talk about cricket, it is like rain, the Duckworth-Lewis method. So you work hard the rest of the period in order to make it up. So it has happened in the past. I don't see any particular reason why it should not take place. And we will continue to look at improving our market share. Our goal is to reach a market share of 15% by FY27, and we will be on that.
So just reiterating the numbers, you're saying 10 to 15% full year top line growth, right? You're expecting 3, 4 and 5, quarter 2, 3 and 4 to make up for it, right?
It picks up generally in end of Q2 and Q3 as the festival season begins. So I have plotted all the years in which summer season had been bad. So there is an indication that it will make up over the period. That's what one should anticipate.
Okay, all right. And just to reiterate, 1.53 is what you did last year. So a 10-15% growth will take you to around 1.7 million approximately on the RAC volume.
1.65 is the one we will look at
1.65. Got it.
number. And the
Yeah.
commercial refrigeration you talked
Yes.
about, it was a bad year last year with many regulatory changes, etc. So therefore, it is doing well in whichever is the category, whether it is a cold store or whether it is a chest freezer, deep freezer, driven by the processed food consumption, pharmaceutical. These are the segments which are driving growth.
Sir, I just want to clarify this 10 to 15% growth guidance. This is only for the RAC business, or are you talking about overall top line? If you could just share the overall top line estimate as well that you have for the year.
I am talking about first the room air conditioner business.
Okay.
Summer season should have been 25 to 30% growth. It has not happened. But whenever summer season fails, it will be made up in the rest of the period. And I think 10 to 15% growth is possible. That is the anticipation. We will work towards that. Second is commercial refrigeration. It should grow between 25 to 30% because the base is very small and the demand continues to be good. And last year was bad. On that base, that growth should not be a problem. We are carrying forward order book of over 6,000 crores, as you may be aware, in the electromechanical project segment, and that should happen. Fortunately, Blue Star is not dependent on B2C alone. We have significant part of our revenue coming from B2B businesses. Commercial air conditioning business, which is driven by manufacturing, data center, shop, showroom, boutiques, that continues to grow. That should grow between 15 to 20%. So it is too early to predict overall Blue Star revenue growth, what it should be. I am of the view it will be definitely in double-digit growth. Yeah, one month or 2 months of rain will not create a major difference for us.
Okay, got that. So overall top line growth should definitely be in double digits. The AC business should grow 10 to 15%. Got that point. Sir, just a quick update on margins as well. Because in the fourth quarter, there was some pressure that came in on the blended EBITDA margin for the company. Though individually speaking, the RAC segment did well. There your margins were over 8% as well. So just give us some sense on both the EMP side, RAC, what's the margin profile and anticipation for the full year?
So I continue to maintain segment one, that is electromechanical projects and package air conditioners. It should be in the region of around 7.5%. In the unitary cooling products, which includes room air conditioners and commercial refrigeration, we have been maintaining full year basis. It should be 8 to 8.5%. In a summer impacted year, that will come under pressure. Something has to be made up in the last quarter. See, what happens is your marketing spends, you end up incurring something like IPL, etc. And it's not delivering because of the seasonal unseasonal rains. So therefore, we will have pressure to deliver that 8 to 8.5. We are not changing that outlook. We will keep watching this. If it has to be corrected, I will let you know by H2 beginning. That's when we will have a clear picture.
Okay.
But it is possible to deliver 8 to 8.5.
That 8 to 8.5 on the AC business.
Unitary cooling products.
Unitary cooling products business. Got that.
Okay. All right. Sir, since it's been a rough start to the year, what about pricing? How does it move? Besides the shareholders, a lot of clientele as well will be watching you. They want to know whether Mr. Thiagarajan is going to go and push through another price hike. Possible or not?
No, April first week we had increased the prices and our policy remains the same. If there is an input cost increase, pass it on. If it is coming down, reduce the prices. See,
So now it's coming down then, sir. So, I see some input costs have cooled off a little bit. Will you cut prices a little bit because you took a price hike in January as well as April, right?
That's right, February as well as April. I think a review will take place beginning of the festival season, just before Onam. That will be in August. See, inventory is no longer an issue in the country for the simple reason local manufacturing is taking place and we shouldn't have any problem there. Some minor adjustments will have to be done to enable the dealers to liquidate their stocks, which normally we all do. The price reduction or increase will depend on the outlook for input material costs and the exchange rates, which we will do in the month of August.
Okay. All right, sir. Thank you very much for giving us a complete perspective on how the business is playing out. So even though the start has been weak and these rains have kind of dampened the early summer demand, you're expecting the rest of the year to make up for it. Good to know that. Thank you very much for joining in. You have a great rest of the day. All right. That's the word coming in from Blue Star. We will take a very quick break on that.